Hey guys, so I just wanted to go over last night's homework so that way you could have a detailed explanation for each of these problems, and then hopefully you'll get a better understanding so you could, for tonight's homework, improve on what you did yesterday. So number one, we're going to go over numbers 1, 3, and 6 from last night's homework. Number 1 says that you and your friend are hiking in the mountains. You want to climb to a ledge that's 20 feet above you. The height of the grappling hook you throw is given by the function h of t equals negative 16t squared. Actually, there's a typo here if you guys can make the correction. It doesn't change your final answer, but this should be plus 32t plus 5. What is the maximum height of the grappling hook? Can you throw it high enough to reach the ledge? Okay, because your velocity should always be positive, so positive 32. So basically you're looking at this ledge that's up here that's 20 feet high. You're down here, right? And you're throwing this grappling hook, and the question is, will it just get to here, or will it actually reach that 20-foot ledge? So you're looking for the highest point of your parabola. You're looking for the y value of the vertex. So remember, to find the y value of the vertex, you're going to first find the axis of symmetry, plug it back into the function, and that'll be the y value of the vertex. So x equals negative b, so a is negative 16, b is positive 32, and c is 5. So negative b would be negative 32 over 2 times negative 16, x equals 1. Now, if you use the original numbers, you got negative 1, which still, when you plug that back into the function, because you're squaring it, is going to end up giving you the same answer. So when you plug that back into the function, you're going to get negative 16 times 1 squared plus 32 times 1 plus 5. So you're going to get negative 16 plus 32 plus 5, which is going to be 16 plus 5, which is 21. Actually, you would not have gotten this, I think. I think if you used the negative 32, you would have gotten a different answer. Yeah. But I'm making the correction now so you guys could see. So your grappling hook is actually going to go above the 20-foot ledge. It's going to go to 21 feet. So the answer is yes, you can throw it high enough to reach the ledge, and because you're going to make it to 21 feet. Okay, we go on to number 3, was the next one. Number 3 says a ball is thrown into the air with an upward velocity of 40 feet per second from an initial height of 6 feet. The height of the ball is given by, and they give you the function. What is the height of the ball after 2 seconds? So 2 seconds is time, that's your t. You're plugging 2 into the function, that's it. You're finding h of 2. So negative 16 times 2 squared plus 40 times 2 plus 6. So we're going to do negative 16 times 4, which is 16 times 4, which is going to be negative 64 plus 80 plus 6. So negative 64 plus 80 is going to give us 16, and 16 plus 6 is going to be 22. So it'll be 22 feet above the ground. The ball will be 22 feet above the ground after 2 seconds. Okay, because you're throwing the ball from an initial height of 6 feet. So you're doing something like this. You're throwing it, the ball goes up, the height increases, the ball goes down. In how many seconds does the ball reach its maximum height? So in how many seconds, let me redraw that parabola here. They're asking you for time. That's the x value. They're asking you for the x value that produces this maximum height. That's called the axis of symmetry. Okay, so you had to just use the formula x equals negative b over 2a, and whatever answer you get, that's the time. That's the x value for which you're at the vertex. So x equals negative b would be negative 40 divided by 2 times a would be 2 times negative 16. So you're going to divide 40 divided by 32, and you'll get 1.25 seconds. Okay. C, what is the ball's maximum height? So now I'm asking you to find this point. What is that max height? When you need to find that max height, that's the y value of the vertex. So remember, to find the y value of the vertex, first you find the axis of symmetry, x equals negative b over 2a, but we already did that in part B, so we know that comes out to be 1.25. And then you plug this back into the function, so you're going to find h of 1.25. That means we're going to go negative 16 times 1.25 squared plus 40 times 1.25 plus 6. So 1.25 squared is 2.25, oh sorry, no, is 1.5625 times 16, negative 16, is going to give us negative 25 plus 40 times 1.25, which is 50, plus 6. So this would be 25 plus 6, which is 31. So the height of the ball at its maximum height is 31 feet. That means you've reached this point here, 31 feet. D, how many seconds does it take for the ball to hit the ground? Round to the nearest tenth of a second. So how many seconds does it take for the ball to hit the ground is asking you to find this x value. How many seconds does it take for the ball to get to a height of 0? That's the positive root. And they're telling you to round to the nearest tenth. That means I can't factor it. That means I'm going to use quadratic formula. Okay, so I'm going to go x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative b would be negative 40. So negative 40 plus or minus the square root of b squared, 40 squared, minus 4ac, 4 times negative 16 times 6, all over 2a, 2 times negative 16. So that's going to be x equals negative 40 plus or minus the square root of 40 squared is 1600. It's going to be plus, because I have 2 negatives, plus, and then 4 times 16 times 6 is 384, all divided by negative 32. So it's x equals negative 40 plus or minus the square root of, I have 1,984 divided all by negative 32. Okay, and this is where you go into your two paths. You have either x equals negative 40 plus the square root of 1,984, all of it divided by negative 32, or x equals negative 40 minus the square root of 1,984, all of it divided by negative 32. Okay, so I have negative 40 plus the square root of 1,984 equals divided by negative 32. So my first root for the first one here is x equals negative 0.1, because it was 0.14. And then for the second one, negative 40 minus the square root of 1,984, all of that divided by negative 32, is going to be positive 2.6. So I'm going to reject the negative and accept the positive. I have 2.6 seconds. Remember, that's the root, that's the x value for which y equals 0.